Hello, welcome guys, welcome back to another Unity tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make an FPS counter, which stands for an frames per second counter. So to do that, before actually doing that, Unity has an assets which is called standard assets. It has folder called utility. Just go to the prefabs and you'll have this frame rate which is there for free if you are not interested in typing. And if you didn't have the standard assets, just go to the asset store, type in standard assets, and you will find it. It's for free and it's made by Unity Technologies. And now let's hop into our tutorial. So first of all, I created a C# script and I called it FPS count. I prepared for this episode, so just make some experiments. Here the variables that you must have: a public bool, and it is active, we don't assign anything to it; an integer that's called frame count; float, delta time; public float, which is the update rate that we will have, set equal to 2.0 by default; and a double, that's FPS; public game object, which is the text handler; and the public text, FPS text. The reason that we will use this game object is that if you have a game manager that all of your scripts sit on, then you can actually assign this script to it. But in my case, I have it in my canvas and I called it FPS counter, which I have the scripts standing there. So create the public void update. You can just type it like that. Make sure that the U is uppercase, not lowercase, so that will be made every single second. And this is where the fun begins. So first thing is we make an if statement, if input dot get key down, and this key that we will be searching for is under the key code. You can actually type whatever code you actually want to use, which in my case I'll be choosing the P, open curly brackets, and make another if statement. And this is a simple if statement. If is active, and we will disable or enable the FPS text handler. My frames per second will be on by default, so the first thing to do is to disable it and then to enable it. So if is active is not is active, else this is a statement, have FPS text handler dot set active to true, which is the opposite of the if statement that we have here. And let's get out of this if statement. You can actually see there's a minus here. You can just click it to make things easier. And here we will type is active. Not sure what happened there. Is active. Okay. The curly brackets of the update is gone. So if is active, it's not actually an if statement, so just equal the opposite of is active, so that the next time, first time is active is equal to itself, the next time it will not be equal to itself. It's just a simple thing. Make sure that you have this outside of the two if statements, not inside of them. After is active, we will type frame count, which is the integer that we have, plus plus. Plus plus means +1. This is basically it. But it's better to use this one since that it does exactly what you want to have. Then we'll have the float delta time plus equal, which means in real life it's just plus time dot delta time. You can actually notice the same word. The reason why we have a float that's called delta time is because the delta time is changing every single frame and change faster and it's not constant. So when we make delta time plus time the delta time, if you notice actually the float delta time is equal to 0 by default. So delta time equal the time, the delta time, just it will be made once every single frame, but this actually changes more than once in every single frame. Yes, it's very confusing. It took me about 5 minutes to understand it first, but let's move on. So he will type if delta time, so this is an if statement, is larger than 1 over update rate. I think I must use the lowercase. Wait. Oh, it's both of them uppercase. Then what we want to happen is very simple. FPS, which is this, set it equal to math, which you will not actually find if you don't have the using system.ui, just using system. And if you want the text, just make sure that you have using Unity Engine.ui. Sorry for not mentioning that before. So fps equal to math.round. I'll explain what round mean after a moment. Frame count over delta time, and then a comma 1. So what this actually does is that if you have a double or a float that's written like this, or however it is, it will just assign it to the number that you have. In my case I have 1, so to make it 1.1 or 1.6, 1.7, it will only have one number after this. If you change this, for example, set it to 4, it will have 4 numbers here. This is just basically what the round does. After the FPS, we will type fps text dot text. So the text of the fps, we will set it equal to this fps that we just wrote about, dot to string, so that will be printable to the screen. And here this is something optional, but this plus fps, I will actually make it uppercase. So this is what will actually be displayed. It will show how many frames per second you have, and it will just write after it fps. You will notice that after a moment. And here we'll have frame count set equal to 0, delta time minus equal 1 over update rate. Let's not do the same mistake. And this is basically it. This is the whole script that you will have to write. Let's go back to Unity Engine, and here you will have to drag the FPS text handler where your text is on, and also your text, and you can now actually start. But before we start, I will go to the standard assets, the utility, prefabs. I'll put the frame rate that's already given by the Unity game engine, and you will notice actually the difference. It's multi-audio. So the script that I have is more accurate and changes way much faster than the Unity engine default one, or that comes with the standard assets. So here it says 148, and in my case it says 149. It's actually way much more faster. It's updating faster, which gives you more and a better actually result. So this is basically it. Hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your teammates, and thanks for watching.